Good morning everyone and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. Today it's an MX Art project share, which is a pop-out card, and also I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to do those Aliexpress foam flowers. But first up, MX Art. So I used a bag of bits, which is a little bee bear is the only way to describe it. And I used another bag of bits, which is a little mushroom house. And I used my MX Art cloud dies, which are absolutely gorgeous. See all those scrolly swirlies? They're really, really pretty. And I used those. And I will show you my card. Here it is. A little mushroom house and those clouds there. Let's see if we can get a close-up. I used that little daisy border is from my stash, and I just layered it up so that I was linking the colours in the card. I used a little bit of fence from that pop-out card die, and I used the grass, which is inside there. So that is my pop-out card for today, and I'm going to measure those bits. Get my ruler inside there. Let's have a look. And the mushroom house is, got to take in the smoke, I forgot about that. It's 4 inches high with its little bit of smoke coming out of its chimney. And the little bee bear, try saying that quickly, is 3 inches high. So that is what I made as my pop-out card, and that is my MX Art project share. If you want to know how to make the pop-out cards, I will link that tutorial below, because I actually designed these dies and they're lovely, really easy to use. So that's my first one. And now I'm going to clear everything away and I'm going to show you how to make those Aliexpress foam flowers. Just put those there so nothing's going to fall on the floor. And I've already pre-cut my foam, and I am going to show you what this foam looks like if you've never seen it. See how close we can go. See the grain in it. It's thin. This one is 1.5 mils. It will go down to 1 mil thickness that you can get on AliExpress. And if you're somebody who likes to do really fine detail in flowers, then 1 mil is the best option. It's just that when I bought like 10 packs of this, which is 1.5 mil, I think it was about 2 years ago now, they only had 1.5 mil on AliExpress. So that's what I'm going to use until I use it all up. And I'm quite happy with this because there is a little bit of sort of like twisting and rolling that you have to do with your fingers. And if you're not used to using thin things, then you can quite easily tear a 1 mil thickness. So I'm very, very happy with this one. So that's what it looks like before you cut it. And then, of course, I have die cut it. See if we can get close there. There you go. See, it's just like spongy foam. You do get these like little hole imperfections, and you will see some people will complain about that. That doesn't actually bother me. It kind of adds to the naturalness of it once you start making them. And to cut these out, I've used the Surprise Creation flower dies that I showed you the other day, and I can link that video as well for you if you want to look at that haul again. So let's move those out of the way and bring in what we're going to need. And I'm going to use 2 shades of Distress Oxide here. I'm going to use the Broken China, and I'm going to use fossilized amber. Now I want blue flowers, but I want yellow centers, and we're making 2. So first of all, I'm going to move my yellow and my foam out of the way, and I'm going to concentrate on doing the blue bit. Now I will move these because if you start mixing your colours, you could end up with green, and I don't really want green flowers. I just want blue ones. Right, I'm just going to pause for a second while I get my heat gun because, as usual, I'm not organised. Okay, I got the heat gun and plugged it in. Now, we're using ink blending foam. This is a round one. You can use whatever shape that you want to use, just as long as you can put some ink down. And all you have to do is hold the sponge in your hand. I usually bend it over like that, only because I try to keep my hands just a little bit cleaner. And you're just going to pick some ink up like this, and you're going to sponge your flower. It really is easy, and then you can just like comb the ink in so that you've got that nice soft pale blue shade there. Look, compare it to a white one at close up, and you can see it's a soft blue. I might actually go just a little bit darker, be a bit more generous with the colour. There we go. I hope that you can see what I'm doing because, as usual, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing because I can't see it. So for a darker shade, dab harder, and I hope that my camera's not shaking. And I'm just going to finish dabbing those and I'll be straight back. Okay, I've dabbed the blue onto those, and now I'm going to dab my stamens in yellow. So I'm using fossilized amber because it's a nice colour. It gives you a lovely yellow. It is quite saturated on paper, but not so saturated on foam, as you can see. I don't know if you've got oxide inks, but when you put the amber onto paper, you get a really rich dark yellow. But on foam, it's a lot paler, and I do want to be able to see those stamens stand out. So let's have a look. Yep, I'm happy with that, I think. A little bit darker in the centre. And now I'm going to get some hand sanitizer just to clean that area, and I'll be straight back. So I've now dropped the camera right down so that hopefully you can see a lot better, and I'm going to get my heat gun and I'm going to hold one of the petals down with my pokey tool because of course it's very light, it will blow away. In fact, what I'm going to have to do is raise the camera just slightly because I don't want to heat the camera. Who knows what might happen if I do that. Right, here we go. I'm trying to do it at an angle here, and what you should see in a minute, as it starts to get warm, it will puff up towards you slightly. You can see one of those petals there. There you go. You can see it starting to get a little bit soft and a little bit melty, and that is perfect. Pick that up, hold it in your hand and just twist. You don't have to be gentle with this because it is a 1.5 mil, and then it's all screwed up, and you're just going to put that down. You're just going to let it do its thing for a minute. And I'm going to do the other large one, and hopefully you can see what's happening here in a second. You should be able to see the whole thing start to curl up towards the heat gun, and you know you've got that right, and you pick it up once again, scoop it around and give it a twist. Just screw it up just like that. That's what it should look like, all screwed up in your hand, and then just pop that down and let it do its thing. Now I'm going to heat the rest of them, and I'll come back to show you how to heat the stamens. Okay, so you can see that these have all been warmed and screwed up, and those are my large, medium and small petals. And now we're going to do the stamen in exactly the same way, pop your little pokey tool down in the middle. I mean, I do know some people will use a hot iron to do this, but personally I can't be bothered to plug in an iron. So here we go again. Now you can start to see them curl and move, and you don't really want that much pressure on your stamens. Just bring them up like that into a bundle in your hand and just press and pop it down. It'll open out kind of naturally all on its own. And we're going to do the other one, just warmed slightly into your hand, and then just press it just like that. That's basically all that you want, because you're going to open them out and you're going to reform them exactly where you want them to be. So let's do that. Now I know that people see that that's kind of slightly opened on its own, and I quite like the shape of that, so I'm not going to mess with it. This one I will open out slightly. Some people put these together using a hot glue gun, and that's another thing that I can't be bothered to do. I just kind of use glue dots. So I've got my little petals here open. See how wrinkled that one is? That for me, sorry about the camera, is perfect. I kind of like that, because flowers, you know, they'll open, and yeah, we can recognize what different types of flowers we've got growing, but none of them are exactly the same as each other. So I've opened those to where I want them, and these are the glue dots that I use. These are from Aliexpress, if you can see that. See how close we can go. There. Ooh, nice picture. Look at my lovely inky fingers. So I just use these glue dots from Aliexpress, and I will take, that's a large, I don't want to mix them up, and I just pop a glue dot onto the bottom, and then I find the center. You want to kind of like maneuver it so your petals aren't lined up with all of the others, like that. And then I'm going to get another glue dot and pop that on the bottom of there. Much nicer than burning your fingers with glue. And we're going to pop that one into there. And now we're going to pop a glue dot onto our stamen. So it's great fun doing tutorials because I can't see anything. Seriously, I can't see anything because the camera goes right in front of my face. And now I'm going to find the center of that flower, and I'm going to pop that in, and that is what you will end up with. I don't actually think that I put those stamens quite center, but it's still a very pretty flower. Now what I'll do is I'll pause and put this one together, and then I'll come back and show you. So here are finished flowers that I've done, and there are the two blue ones that we've made, and these are others that I've made. But as you can see, you don't have to be overly perfect or, you know, what's the word, prissy about it. Just get stuck in and have some fun. And if you want to make them sparkly, just use a little bit of your Dollar Tree glue. Hang on just a second. Whoops, she says, dropping everything as usual. Use your needle tip, just go around the edge, have a little bit of glitter in a bowl, turn it upside down and dip it, and you'll have pretty glitter all along the edges of your petals. It really is super easy to make something that looks really natural and pretty. So I hope you enjoyed that. If anyone was confused, just leave me a message below, and I'll try to respond verbally, or I'll attempt to do this again using different dyes so that you can get different kinds of styles of flowers, and maybe I'll even glitter the next ones up. But they're just so natural and so lovely, and especially for spring, you know, you can pop those on one of those little twiggy wreaths that you can get from Dollar Tree, and you can just dot a few around with a little bit of greenery, and just looks really lovely. Right, as usual, all links are below. You have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.